Good morning, Year 11s, and welcome to a very strange collective worship. It's nice to have spoken to a few of you over the last few days. I hope this is something that you'll appreciate. I'm going to start off by a greeting in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear Lord, I am so grateful for all that you have given me. I'm thankful for my life, my understandings of you, and all that I've experienced with you. I'm thankful for all that you have provided for me, and I'm incredibly thankful for my family. I pray that I will remain grateful for my family, that I place their needs above my own, that I hold them as a high priority, and that I never take them for granted. I pray that I would see them as you see them, and love them as you love them. Please help me to take care of them as much as I can and to share adventures with them often. I love my family and I love you, Lord. May your will be done with us in Jesus' name. Amen. So I wondered what really to talk to you about today. And I thought firstly I might talk about the effects of lockdown sort of on myself, and maybe this might be the same as some of you. So to start with, I was very unsure of what was going on and obviously had to change things at the last minute, and obviously changing lifestyles over the last few months. Initially, I found it really tough as I'm not very good with change, as some of you may know. I find it quite difficult to change from one routine to another. So suddenly I'd gone from running around the school, marking, planning, obviously chasing some of you guys around, playing netball, looking after my own children, basically about 100 miles an hour, to not very much. But there are lots of positives that I've seen from lockdown. Obviously, firstly was enjoying the sunshine, was loving going outside, doing more running, doing more cycling, spending time with my family, and obviously starting some new or old hobbies. So it was nice to spend more time with the family, nice to be getting outside and doing a bit more things, slow pace of life. But there were some negatives that I found quite hard as well to deal with. So some days there was the lack of motivation, didn't really want to get up, didn't really want to do anything. Not seeing friends or family was quite hard. Not playing netball was a big part. Obviously I played twice a week, so that was really difficult. And obviously not going to work to see your smiley faces. I think it was a really downtime, not being able to say a proper goodbye to you guys, and obviously for you not fulfilling all your dreams of the grades that I know many of you would be getting, and going through the process of your GCSEs. I know many of you had worked really, really hard, so I was gutted for a lot of you, and you know, I missed that last few months of working with you. But obviously there are lots of good things that are happening since then. I thought today I'd talk to you about independent learning. Now I know this probably hasn't really affected you in too much at home in terms of you having to do work lots. This may affect more of the rest of the school, but I thought this was a really important skill to learn. And we always talk about this from a young age. You know, how do we learn things? And what is independent learning? So I kind of go back to what is learning. Now learning, obviously I study this or talk about this at A-level PE, what is learning? And it's the process of learning new things and building it up in your brain so that you can use it again. Now look at this question. Do you learn more by getting things right or getting things wrong? And I know that I often talk to my classes about this and say, actually, there's not a lot of point if you're doing maths. If you're doing 10 questions and you get all 10 right, what have you actually learned? You've learned that you can do this already. And I always say to a lot of people and all my classes that actually you learn more from the things that you get wrong. No one likes particularly making mistakes or getting things wrong, but actually that's where we learn, because we don't like getting it wrong. We want to do it right next time. And actually most of us will learn from that. Is it better to take time over your work or complete your work? interesting conversation that I've had with a few of my other students over the last few weeks about, you know, worrying about handing in work, getting things done, when actually it's the taking time over your work that's important. Sometimes it's not just about completing it, it's about the process. Are you understanding the process? And that's what you've got to look at. So taking time over your work. I know some of you have had lots of bridging work and are getting prepared for college. I wonder how much time you've taken and made sure that you've gone over things so that you do actually understand it rather than just getting it done as quickly as you can. What do you do when you don't know what to do? This is a big question. I think lots of you have developed this over the last 6 months, really, in not just that when you don't know what to do, you've given up. A lot of you have actually started to persevere with things, ask questions. So when we get to that wall or a traffic light as such, what do you do? Who do you ask? Do you ask for help? Can you go on and look for something to find the answers? So it's not just about giving up, it's going through that process and finding what you can do to get through it. When something goes really badly, what do you do? I wonder how many of us, particularly in lockdown, have struggled. I wonder how many of us have spoken to people. I know I've had lots of things that I've had to deal with, and I've talked about them. I've spoken to friends, I've spoken to family, I've asked advice. And it's the same with schoolwork, it's the same with whatever you want to do in life, you know, ask people for help, talk to people. There's lots of people that have probably been in the same situation and that can help you. When you would rather take the easy route, how do you motivate yourself to take on a challenge? This is an easy question. Sorry, it's not an easy question, it's a difficult question, but actually when you think about it, it can be easy. I wonder how many of us, again, through this lockdown, have just taken the easy route of not doing a lot, because at the moment, a lot of you can do. It's hard to motivate yourself. It's hard to get going when actually you've kind of been stumped quite a lot because you're not doing your exams. So how do you motivate yourself to take on a challenge? Well, I relate this back to when we first had lockdown. I wanted to get fit. I wanted to kind of keep fit because I wasn't playing netball, and I started running a little bit more. And I really, really don't like running. It's something I find quite boring. But I thought, right, I'm going to do it, and I think I find it hard because I'm not as good as I used to be at it. But I went running and I got better, and I achieved my target of running the 5K in a certain time. And I was really chuffed with myself. But once I achieved that, I didn't want to do it anymore. It was kind of like, well, I've done that, and I now am bored of running. So I've now taken up, now we can train a bit more and meet up with people. I've now started my netball team training sessions. And this was the first week that I've done it, and I'm running 3 of them now. And what a difference, just actually taking the lead on something and having to go out, even when it's raining, because I don't want to let other people down, but it's made me want to do things. And I wonder how you manage to motivate yourself to take on a challenge. It can be really, really difficult at times. But obviously, if it's something that you want to do, it becomes easier for you to motivate yourself. The hard and challenging thing is when you've got to motivate yourself when it's something you maybe don't particularly want to do. What do these pictures tell you about learning? Certainly going through and getting motivated, maybe having some stressful news to start with and then going through it. What an amazing achievement they've gone. And a lot of this is through their independent learning. It is a formula for success. As you prepare yourself to go to college or apprenticeship or work or sixth form, whatever you're doing, becoming an independent learner and independent learning is key to your success. Independent learners are more successful learners. Why? Because they remember learning for longer with more understanding, and they can link and apply their learning more easily. This is because it's their learning and they learned it for themselves. Again, this is something I've talked to probably a lot of you about in my maths class. When you learn something for yourself, you are more likely to remember it. And any of these psychological experiments will tell you that, because you've gone through the difficulty and you've come out the other side, it's more likely to stay in your memory. So how can you become an independent worker or learner? Readiness, motivated. This is the hard bit. Get involved, get active. You need to have that desire to succeed, even if it's difficult. Recognize the skills and learning. You're willing to try and seizing the opportunity. This is the difficult part. You can get yourself motivated, give yourself a target, then that's, once you've got motivated, that's the easy bit. Resilient, take risks with learning. A lot of us, as I said, don't like making mistakes, but if we take those risks, make mistakes as part of finding out, you keep going, you problem solve, and you try different ways when you're stuck, that will build you up. We've talked for many years, since year 7, since you were in year 7, about resilience and keeping going and not giving up. And this will help you to become that independent learner. Resourceful. Use your own skills, creativity, knowledge and resources around you. Share ideas and learning. Research more. So if you don't know something, go out and research it. You've got so many tools available to you now that you can go out and find out what you want. You can learn what you want. Go out there, use the resources. Reflective. This is important. Thinking for yourself about your learning and learning experiences, what you need to succeed. Share and link ideas, ask questions. What's next? So once you've done something, how can you reflect on that? What went well? We do this a lot. What went well? Even better if. They're the reasons. We've got to start reflecting on maybe what did go well to start with and what can you do better in the future? How can you learn from that? So if you look at the contrast in those, have a look at some of these characteristics and think about, are you a dependent learner? So these rely on teachers, they stop when they're stuck, they don't know their strengths and weaknesses. They think the teacher is responsible for their learning and behaviour. That one's an interesting one. I've heard that quite a lot, that it's the teacher's responsibility for their learning and behaviour. They don't know how to approach tasks, they don't set learning goals, don't reflect, tend to give in when things go wrong. Some of us do still do that, but it's about learning that not to give up, and you can get through these. I wonder how many of you are independent learners then. So look at some of the characteristics there. They take responsibility for their own learning and behaviour. They plan their learning and set goals, motivated by progress in learning, and often reflect. It's interesting to see the characteristics there. So independent learners have improved academic performance, increased motivation and confidence, increased chances to be creative and intellectually creative, fostered social inclusion and countered alienation from peers, increased opportunities for completing differentiated tasks set by the teacher. That's an interesting one. If you think back to when you were at school and you maybe often had like choose the red, amber, green, or the bronze, silver, gold, or the easy, medium, hard questions, how many of you challenged yourself, or how many of you wanted just to get that 10 out of 10 to kind of make yourself feel better? As much as that does make you feel like you've got success, remember it's getting things wrong as well, and then making that success on those wrong answers. That is the key. Some of you may remember this from when you started in year 7, when we looked at the roots and how they build our tree and foster our tree. And we've always looked at our 7 key values, that respect, responsibility, core to everything. If we've got those roots embedded deep down, they'll always come out. I wonder how many of us now, as we're going into the age where we do need to be more independent, if we can foster that and help that grow through our Beckett Keys values. So through those routes, certainly develop your resilience and independence to learn, which you will all need for whatever future you are going into. I always say that you're more likely to remember something that you've learned yourself, especially when you've made mistakes. I certainly remember some of the mistakes that I've made, and you certainly learn from those and hopefully won't do them again. Some of you might remember this quote that we said to you in year 9 when you were thinking about your options. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So whatever you're doing right now, think about how it's affecting you. Think about those core values that we have. I know certainly since I've been out and about cycling, people seem more polite. They'll say thank you. They'll chat to you in the queue for the Sainsbury's. People are talking more to each other because they've got the time, I think, and they've realised what we're all in together. Keys to success. As we've seen, success is not something that just happens. It is something that we have to work hard for. I know that many of you were working extremely hard just before we left, and we're going to get some really great results, and I hope that we get to see each other on results day. It'd be lovely to see you all again. I'm going to finish with a final prayer, and I hope and wish that all of you are well and staying safe. God of love and hope, you made the world and care for all creation, but the world feels strange right now. The news is full of stories about coronavirus. Some people are worried that they might get ill. Others are anxious for their family and friends. Be with them and help them to find peace. We pray for the doctors and nurses and scientists and all who are working to discover the right medicines to help those who are ill. Thank you that even in these anxious times, you are with us. Help us to put our trust in you and keep us safe. Amen. Well, I hope this has given you something to look at today and ponder. I hope to hear from some of you soon. Some of you have sent me some nice messages via Show My Homework. So stay safe, everyone, and I hope to see you all soon.